be nervous.
Oh, I'm not nervous.
No, I know.
Sometimes I
Usually
get a
they
bit
say,
nervous.
yeah, usually they tell me don't be nervous.
Yeah.
I have to get in there
Yeah, a
first.
bit camera shy. Yeah. I mean, you're the smoothest couch person I've ever seen.
You've only had 3 so far. That's the.
I mean, this is my couch
Yeah.
here, and you're in a shirt. And
I wish I had a teacher right now. That's all right. That's
yeah.
fine. All right.
So this is welcome to the Live Couch, episode 3.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, I have Pierre Johannessen,
Love
which
to
is
meet
a
you.
French-Norwegian
French-Norwegian
cross.
hybrid, right?
hybrid.
Right.
Yeah. Obviously, the Life Couch is a place where we talk about life and success. Today's about you. Tina put me in touch with you during the week, and you've got a really interesting story. I went on to you, like, you've even got a Wikipedia page, which is that's got
I do apparently.
more than a paragraph. Like if I go to mine, I have to. It's just one line, but. What have I got here? It says, Pierre Johannessen is an Australian human rights activist, journalist and recipient of the ACT Young Australian of the Year Award in 2010. That's a pretty good sentence.
That's not bad. Yeah, that's pretty good.
How'd you get that title?
Yeah.
Is that a title?
I think the human rights activist is a little bit overreaching, but thank you to whoever ended up writing the page. But the award was mainly for the not-for-profit that I helped start with a couple of other guys.
Okay.
Big Bang Ballers.
Big Bang Ballers. Now I saw something in, I think it was, what's the City News. I haven't printed off your photo. So he's famous, he's been in the newspaper. But, tell me a little bit about this Big Bang Ballers.
Sure. Well, it's a international not-for-profit. We use the game of basketball to fight youth poverty and social disadvantage around the world, which is a really fancy way of saying that we play basketball with kids any chance we possibly can.
Okay, you any good at ball?
You know what? Depends on who's asking. Sure, yeah. For the purposes of this, yeah, I'm amazing, absolutely. Yeah. But in reality, no, I'm the old guy who has more wisdom than he has technical skills, I think.
Okay, sounds like fun. So how does it work? You obviously.
So we go to yeah, absolutely. So what we try and do is we try and go into places where the kids are really less served than they may otherwise be. So countries like Bangladesh, Afghanistan, all the way up to Nepal. We're in 14 different countries now. What we do is we use the game and the lessons that you can learn through sport, basketball in particular, to help kids with life skills. Now, once they start developing some life skills, we also add in the elements of working as a team. So essentially, we're teaching young people to take care of their own communities. We're not the kind of organization that walks into a place, does a couple of things, and then leaves. We try and instill life skills and community emotion and community development in every single place that we work in.
Sounds amazing.
It's been pretty incredible. We've helped kids get to school, stay in school. We've built classrooms. We've built basketball courts all over the world. I mean, it's been a really incredible ride so far.
That's awesome. Now, I'm just going to press my button here. I want to know more.
Sure.
So this is a 10-minute couch.
Okay.
So we've got 10 minutes to talk a bit more about this Big Bang Ballers.
Sure.
So where to start? How?
It started in Bangladesh. I was living and working in Bangladesh as an Australian Youth Ambassador for Development. And I was working with an outfit called Habitat for Humanity, building houses.
Okay.
My job was really simple. I was in an air-conditioned office writing emails to people around the world saying, hey, come and help out. It's so easy. It's cheap. The country's safe. 3 months after I was there, we got hit by a cyclone. And overnight, I lost 100,000 people. Just disappeared from the earth. Like, there's no way to find them. That was my catchment area, about 100,000 people. And my job went from writing emails to people about how wonderful this place was to having to come up with a disaster response program.
Right.
I didn't have this experience. I literally had no idea. I had just received my communications degree. I was full of ambition and full of enthusiasm, and I loved international relations, but I didn't really know what I was doing. Anyway, long story short, after a few months of working in that and being stressed out, my friends and the people around me were saying, look, you need to do something to de-stress. We'd worked really hard to try and find as many people as we could, try to rebuild houses. It was a very stressful situation. So I went back to my first love, and that was basketball. I had a basketball with me, jumped in a rickshaw, asked the rickshaw guy to help me find a basketball court, which is an incredibly difficult concept to explain when you don't know the language. So driving around in circles and circles and circles, and we finally found a court.
You had the ball.
Had the ball. Yeah, had the ball. Finally found a court. And it just looked like a weathered court. Nobody was using it. There was nobody on there. So I started shooting around. And it was great. I mean, you're an athlete. anyone that plays sports or loves something deeply enough, whether it's photography or reading or whatever it is, when they do it, after a little while you kind of get into your zone. And anything you're worried about disappears. It's wonderful. So after about 10 minutes, I look up and there's like 100 street kids hanging onto the fence next to the court. I love kids, so I was like, oh, come and play, come. And this is apparently a very rude gesture in Bangladesh. So I didn't realize at the time, but yeah, exactly. So eventually the kids started coming. It was like 100 kids running up and down the court, running into each other. Just one guy, one basketball, but kids just having the time of their lives. Then the screaming started. And I whip around and I see that there's a very stereotype of a security guard. You know, pseudo-military gear, big stick, no shoes, beating the crap out of these kids. And more security guards are showing up and grabbing these kids, literally dragging them off the court by their ears. See, I'd worked in development for so long. I'd done the research on it. I knew the theory. I had volunteered. And I'd been in the country for 5 months at that stage. And I'd gone through this big program. And now I'm watching these kids getting their butts beat up.
Right.
What I didn't realize, what I didn't understand really, was that the people that owned the property, so-called owned the property, they felt embarrassed that a foreigner would see street kids on their property. See, a street kid has no value. We're talking about 150 million people in a space 3/4 the size of Victoria. So for them, it's like flies, and it's not a malicious thing. The security guards have kids of their own. This is just how things are.
Yeah.
I was distraught by this. I didn't know how to deal with it. I didn't know how to respond to it. So within a week or so, when I had met 3 other people who love basketball as much as I did, and who all of a sudden out of nowhere said, "Hey, do you realize the kids here are not having a great time?" We bonded immediately, and immediately we decided, let's do something. So we rounded up as many of those 100 kids as we could find. I'm pretty sure it was about 95%. Brought them back onto the court, gave them little emergency packs full of food, water, oil, little toys, t-shirts, stuff that they could take back home, so that even though they're playing basketball with us for a couple hours, they don't get beat up for not being out there begging or doing whatever they need to help the family eat. Brought them back onto the same court, had the same security guards watch out for them, keep them safe. It was incredible. And it cost us $50. So after doing that once, we thought, let's do it again and do it again. And before we knew it, we were coaching kids. And not long after coaching kids, we were running tournaments because kids were telling us they wanted to play basketball. And before long, girls were coming up to us saying, hey, we don't have anywhere safe to go play. So we created the first mixed tournament, the first women's tournament, and then the first mixed tournament. And then, you know, a year went by and we all left Bangladesh and called each other, 4 grown men in tears, saying, we can't stop, let's do it again. So started doing it in Pakistan, started doing it in pretty much everywhere we were, Australia, France, and it just kept going and going and going. And it's been 8 years.
So you have a strategy? It's an amazing story.
Now we have 29 different programs.
Okay, and you've got finance and things like that?
Every country runs their own finance. We barely need money. Everything's on the back of volunteers.
It's pretty amazing.
People have an amazing capacity to give, so we really rely on people more than money.
So what's I suppose you didn't necessarily plan this.
No, not at all.
What sort of future can you see? Or are you starting to think of create a bigger future, or are you just letting it roll?
It's gotten to the stage where, I mean, nobody's paid we have 80 permanent volunteers, and we don't have a single paid staff member. We sponsor kids and sponsor people to do different things, but we don't have actual salaries. So I think within the next 12 to 24 months, we need to start thinking about putting together a board that actually accepts all of this corporate money that keeps getting offered, but we just don't take because that's not who we've been. It's gotten to that stage now.
Sounds like a good direction.
It's a good problem to have.
Team.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay. Well, I suppose the kids obviously responded really well to this, and so you're in 29 countries now. So
we're in 14 countries. 29 programs, 14 countries. We're way past 50,000 kids. I think I lost count at about 55,000 kids. Yeah. So it's been really, really successful.
Are you planning on bringing it to Australia?
We're running things here. It's a little bit different here. Yeah. So we don't have the same sort of poverty. We don't have the same sort of challenges, but there are a lot of similarities. For example, we run a program out at the Youth Detention Center here in Canberra, where we try and help young men deal with their kind of violent upbringing and kind of their poor responses to conflict through basketball. It's all the same thing. I mean, a kid is a kid, no matter where they come from, especially, and my particular expertise is how to deal with boys, how to turn boys into men. So if I have a kid from Bangladesh who's 6 years old and has never had shoes on his feet, I deal with him similarly to how I deal with a kid who's in a youth detention center here. There are differences, and there are different methods of doing things, but the goals are exactly the same. And at the end of the day, a boy has a lot of things that you, once you understand fully, you know how to deal with. So it translates really, really well, just in different types of programs.
Okay. So you're obviously passionate about it.
Very, absolutely.
What have you learned? Has there been some major learning lessons apart from all of them, but something that you've really learned in regards to this whole experience?
Yeah, absolutely. I think probably the main one is following your passion. You know, I found I had a passion for this, not because I went out looking for it. I thought I knew what I was looking for. I wanted to be in the United Nations, and that was my grand dream. And I came across this because I was open to opportunity, and I didn't realize where it would lead me at the time. But if you don't follow opportunity because it has something to do with your passion, then you're wasting a great chance at fulfilling purpose.
Yeah.
And that's been what's really important for me out of this entire experience.
What do you think you need to do next? What's the first thing you got to do next to
Big Bang?
Push this forward?
Find more people with passion. And it's been relatively easy to find people with passion.
So you're looking for some team leaders?
Always.
Always. To lead in different countries?
So no, we have people in different countries, I think, to make this a little bit more formal and turn this into what it could potentially be, which is a huge program that could go to more countries.
So setting up an administration here.
Administration, a proper board, paid staff members. Yeah.
Okay, sounds amazing. What's the future for yourself in regards to any other projects, or if this is going to consume you for a while?
I guess it's really hard for me personally, it's really hard to kind of stand still. I know you're fairly similar. Like, it's really hard not to go and chase other opportunities. I'm with the family firm, Johannessen Legal, so that's taking up a huge portion of my time.
Yeah. What do you do there?
So a lawyer. Lawyer there.
What type of law?
Everything except for family law, basically. I mean, we're a small boutique firm, so really anything that comes across our desk from clients that we know, like we take on.
French name, Fijian disposition, and love of all languages, not to mention a European appreciation of food. You sound like a really well-rounded person.
I sound like a well-rounded person. I don't know if that's the truth, but it sounds pretty good.
Yeah. So your first name is Pierre. Does that mean you can speak French?
Yep, fluently. That's my first language.
First language.
Yeah.
Were you born there?
No, but because my parents are multilingual, and my father was always looking towards the future. He was always thinking, okay, well, he's going to go to university in France. So my first language just ended up being French. Yeah.
So learning French is your first language in what country?
In Iran. So I was born in Iran, and so alternating between French and Farsi, which is the local language.
Okay.
And then splatterings of English. And then the first time I actually learned English was in the U.S. So my family's all out in Texas, and that's
right.
I guess that explains.
So you're a Texan.
Yeah,
Texan.
Yeah, don't hold it against me. Yeah.
10 minutes. That's a really great story. I'm interested to see how it all pans out. Do you have like a website or?
Sure. For anyone
Facebook pages?
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone that's interested in helping out the Big Bang Ballers, or anyone that wants to get involved. In Facebook or in Google, just type in Big Bang Ballers.
Big Bang Ballers.
Big Bang Ballers, just like Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang, yeah.
But BALLERS at the end.
Yeah.
And we'll come up. It'll be all the Facebook pages, the website, all of it will come up.
I'm going to put it at the bottom of this.
At the very best? Okay,
it's going to come up in the edit.
Good. Yeah.
So, look, nice meeting you.
You too. Appreciate your time.
Sounds great, and I want to stay in touch.
For sure.
And thanks for coming on to the live couch.
Thanks for having me.
All right. See you.